Well, it's dawn. It's about 5 a.m. Bit of a windy night. Oh, it was blowing for a while, for a couple of hours. It just started to rain as well. I thought I was in trouble, and then it stopped. But it's a lovely morning. Those aeroplanes up and off from somewhere. Yeah, so interesting night. I think I might pop down to the beach for a little swim. I suspect the water's chilly. But maybe a little breakfast first. So yeah, you can see there's my cooker roasting away. Got some oatmeal on the go. Got a banana somewhere. A bit green. It'll do. Yeah, so that will fuel me for the next few hours. See if I can get to Aberystwyth and get some lunch, and then on to, well, further up the coast. Well, I'm coming over a rather bumpy bridge over the Malvach estuary, which is fantastic. So the tide's pretty out. The big sandbanks. Back in North Wales. This is the town of Barmouth ahead, so I'm going to stop here for a bite to eat and get my bearings. But it's another fantastic day, just beautiful. Okay, good morning. Here I am sitting in my hammock. This is sort of one of the great advantages of a hammock. Not only are they very comfy to lie in, but you've also got a seat, so you can just sit and read. I think I've said that before, but you know, super comfy. Anyway, I'll just show you a quick run around my hammock, show you the exact setup. So what we've got, this is a DD hammock. DD, one of the main British manufacturers of hammocks, and this is the super light range. And its main sort of feature is that it's very small, as the name suggests, but it does still come with everything you need to hang it. So it has what are called tree huggers, which are these big straps, so they go around the tree and stop any damage to the tree. It's got its own, what they call soft shackle carabiner. So it's a carabiner, but it's made of rope. So it's got a very clever sealing system. And then it's got these wonderfully named whoopee slings. Now the whoopee sling, when you hang a hammock, you want to get the exact angle. I had to mess around with mine a lot last night just to get it perfect. They say like a 30-degree angle down this line at each end. And that can take a lot of messing around with knots, doing and undoing. But with the whoopee sling, it's got this clever system where the rope is sort of woven inside itself in a loop, and you can just pull on the end and it slides through, and it'll make the rope shorter, or you can release it and make it longer. So that's the DD hammock Superlight, and I'll show you just how small it is. And there it is, just sitting in the palm of my hand, tiny, and that's everything in there. It's got the tree huggers and the ropes and everything you need to hang it. So there we go, you can see on the label. I've had it a few years now. DD Superlight hammock. I think it cost me about £50 or so, and I think they're about the same price still. So a ringing endorsement. Leave no trace. We're at Carnarvon Castle. Quite a structure, fantastic. It's got to be one of the most impressive castles in Wales. Anyway, that's just the backdrop, because I thought I'd just do a little run around of my gear, which I haven't done so far. So this one will be for the more bike nerdy one, so I'll keep it brief. Okay, so usual Cannondale Topstone 1 with various upgrades I've had since last time, new wheels, new crankset. Baggage wise, I've got my Toe Peak back loader, which is an oversized saddlebag, fantastic. It's the biggest one. It wasn't expensive, it was about 60 quid, but it's really good. It's got inside, it's got another bag that you stuff everything into, and at the end of the day you just undo a couple of clips, pull the inner bag out, which is also a vacuum bag, so you can squeeze all the air out of it, and then it just slides in the next day, so you don't have to take the whole bag off every day. It's great. Room for a couple of things on top, things on the sides. Then I've got this new bag, frame bag, which is Rock Bros, also cheap, very cheap. I think it's about 20 quid on Amazon, but does the job, fantastic. I get my hammock and tarp and fuel in there. I got space for one water bottle there. Little top tube bag that's got all my cables and charging stuff easily accessible when I arrive at the pub or whatever. I can get charging. Got my new hammerhead Karoo on the front. I smashed the last one, but they replaced it for free because they're good people. And then I've got the rucksack, which, well, it was a good fix in an emergency, but after 10 days of wearing it, I've kind of had enough. One good feature though is it's got a water bladder in it, so I can just drink on the go from this hose, but then I'm carrying all the water on my back. I've got my little tripod just sits in here for filming, which is very handy. Oh yeah, one last thing. Rhino walk, the fake WOHO, very useful. When you use an oversized saddlebag, they can sway, and this little metal thing, which the original one cost something ridiculous like $50 from Taiwan. This Rhino walk one is the AliExpress fake Chinese version, was about $8. Anyway, so that's it. Quick run around in my gear and a last look at magnificent Carnarvon Castle, Castell Carnarvon. Okay, day 9, and I think the final day. I'm on this fantastic dedicated bike path, which is quite rare. It's they made it a few years back to avoid the busy big road below. Runs right along the ocean. We're kind of working on the wall here. Right. Yeah, look, there's the main road just down below. So might get a bit noisy. Yeah, I was going to do one more night out, but to be honest, I'm ready for my own bed now. Will have done about 1,000 kilometers in 9 days, which is pretty good going, considering I'm carrying quite a lot of gear. Especially as I'm carrying this, I have to say, bloody rucksack. I mean, it kind of works, but I won't be using it again. But it managed to save the day when it was looking like I might have to bail out literally 10 minutes after starting the tour, when I found that my front packing system wasn't going to work. Anyway, lessons learned. Always test all your gear before you leave on a multi-day bike packing tour. I had tested it before on a different bike and just assumed it would work, and it didn't. I'll get some new bits of gear for the next trip. I'm not sure what that's going to be, but it's been fantastic. I've had an hour of rain in 9 days. It doesn't rain anymore in Wales, it seems. Lovely. Well, the locals are complaining it's too hot, but then the Brits are either saying it's too cold or it's too hot. There's a small window of opportunity, sort of, I would say, between 21 and 23 degrees centigrade, where they're actually happy. Otherwise they moan, oh, it's so cold, or it's like, oh, it's so hot. I hear that. Let's get past this traffic. Downhill, yeah, so look, you can see the coast up there. Lovely hills. I've mountain biked up in these hills. I'll go and do a trip there this summer. Get that on film. Yeah, so it's going to be a big day home. I should be back sometime this afternoon if all goes well. And where do we go? Yeah. Through this little village. And that's it. So I hope you've enjoyed being on today's ride, on 9 days rides. And if you did enjoy and you're not subscribed, oh look, we go under the motorway here. Please hit the subscribe button and please hit the like button. That always helps. Right down with one hand on the brake. Let's see where we go. I have been down here before, so I do remember. It took me last time. I couldn't work out where the route went. But nowadays there are some good bike lanes around. There's a few. Oftentimes what they do is they just turn the pavement into a bike lane, but in rural areas no one's really using the pavements anyway, so that kind of makes sense. And I am just grateful to get off the roads because I don't like being on the roads here. Brits can be very angry for no reason, it seems. I had someone shouting at me yesterday because he got held up literally by, I would say, 1 second. That was all it took to trigger him. Oh, and the train as well. because yeah, it's a lovely stretch this. We go down now on the coast side of the busy road, which is nice, and follow this all the way around to Llandudno, and then I'll be around following the coast. Oh, beautiful. All the way around to Rhyl, and then cutting down south, down to Llangollen. Yeah, I have missed a couple of bits off of the coastline. I didn't do all of the Llŷn Peninsula. I didn't do Ynys Môn, Anglesey. I didn't do the Gower. But you know, I wasn't setting out to do every single square inch. I think I've done pretty well considering my first ever bikepacking trip, multi-day. So yeah, long may it continue. Okay, on today's ride, out.